Oh my god, we just absolutely destroyed the boss.
Good work.
What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're in a familiar stomping ground because we're going to play with an up close and personal Tempest build that requires you to use a shield. So don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. I've tried a few different variants of this over the last couple of runs. This is the one that I have settled in. Mainly kind of thinking, should I be using Bloodsucker? Should I be using Intimidate? And I've kind of landed on the fact that I do better with Bloodsucker than I do with Adrenaline Rush, rather. And although Adrenaline Rush constantly procs, I get more armor and survivability from using Bloodsucker instead. But it's going to be personal preference. Either will work, and you can just, you know, swap and change in between. Obviously, you know, I have to get a kill to get the bonus damage. But as you can see, we do plenty of damage. I'm not really too worried about that. The only thing that is a little bit tight is the clip size. I'm not a massive fan of only having 30 bullets after having guns like LMGs and assault rifles with 70 in the mag. So that's kind of the only thing I'm a little bit of a downer on. But I'm probably going to do a build where we can see if we can rectify that. And so keep an eye out for that. Luckily enough, having the shield, you know, protects our armor as well. So, you know, if you have a good run, you can stack up a huge amount. Now, I wouldn't necessarily use this in CPs, although as you can see there, we can get, you know, a decent amount of range. This guy running off, you know, but there is a huge drop off on the range there. You saw me go from hitting for 1.8 mil to, you know, just under 500k. But, you know, no problems there getting the boss's backpack. This thing is fairly accurate. And again, you know, you can just strip his head from a significant distance. But if you're going to be playing up close and personal missions and you want to play behind the shield, maybe a bit of a couch casual build, I guess. Okay, so let's go through the build itself. We'll start with the mask. Is the punch drunk for pistol damage. We get headshot damage in there, which is really, really easy to hit with because we're playing so up close and personal. Crit damage. I've got a headshot mod in here, which is actually wrong. That should actually be a critical hit damage mod. So we'll put that in there so that we get the right stats at the end. But unless I've been hitting the head, I've actually been coming out under damaged a little bit, which is a little bit silly. I should have checked that beforehand. Overdogs come with crit chance, crit damage anyway, which is kind of perfect. And these just do so much damage in Heroic. We're constantly proccing the 30% amp for a majority of the time. So I definitely recommend having these in. Then we've got Fox's Prayers with damage to target out of cover and crit chance. Because we're playing so up close and personal, it often pushes the enemies out of cover, which makes it that this damage bonus from the out of cover is just active a lot of the time. So absolutely worth it. And then we're going to run 3-piece Imminent Armaments because that gives us 5% weapon damage, 100% increased threat, which we don't care about, but 60% pistol damage. Weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage with a crit damage mod with Intimidate. So while we have bonus armor, gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 9. Each stack increases weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when we have no bonus armor, but if you remember, I talked about it just a little bit before with the backpack. We've got a crit chance, crit damage, crit chance in the mod slot, but we're running Bloodsucker. Killing an enemy adds a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Max stack is 10. But like I said, this is a little bit up to you. You can run this. This is just what I prefer. But to get exactly the same result, you could run Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. So okay, it is less, but you're guaranteed it for that first kill. I always have to get the first kill to be able to proc my chest talent, but I just feel like I'm safer when it comes to Bloodsucker than I do with Adrenaline Rush. So that is the chest piece. That is the backpack, the holster, just so we can complete the 3-piece set and get the pistol damage. And then we talked about the foxes before. The shield, you can see here, I've got shield health, active regeneration, and holstered regeneration. I am at 30, so I've got an extra 30% active regeneration on my shield. So you might want to think about rolling a blue into this somewhere if you feel like the shield is too weak. But remember, with the Tempest, you are going to get that extra damage if your shield breaks, so look out for that as well. I am running Gunner because I like having the 10% armor on kill. You could switch this to Technician though, and instead of running the Reviver Hive, run the Artificer Hive to buff your shield a little bit and heal it a little bit more. If you felt that your expertise wasn't high enough, that is another option that will really, really help. And then the star of the moment is the Tempest with the damage target out of cover. I managed to farm one. If you're on PC and you need help, check out my Discord, check me out on lives. We've been doing loads of this. And also check out my previous videos where I two bullets, one in each hunter's head, cleared the floor, got a Tempest, really, really quick. Definitely worth checking out. But we get 25% amp damage for 20 seconds after our shield gets broken. And that just isn't a, you know, a get yourself out of trouble talent really. The gun itself is really, really powerful, especially when you amp it up to 30% expertise, but you're still going to be hitting for over 1.5 million, even if you don't have it at level 30 expertise. And if you do, you're going over the 2 millions mark, which for a pistol, yeah, pretty crazy considering that it's automatic. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what builds you are running in your Tempest. I'll put the last few content creator patch codes for myself, DJ Tickle, in the comments down below. Be sure to check them out, but hopefully quickly before they go, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, agents. Goodbye.